They're not announcing it on Wall Street, but some of America's biggest companies are packing their bags, headed straight for Canada. Tax breaks, political shifts, or something even deeper. The media isn't talking, but we are. Stick around because the names on this list will shock you and the reasons even more. Let's dive into the countdown, starting at number 10, and uncover the forces driving this exodus. Welcome to Top 10 America Beyond. Let's get started.
Top 10 America Beyond.
Number 10. Campbell Soup. Nothing says comfort like a steaming bowl of Campbell's chicken noodle soup, a staple in American pantries for generations. But here's the shocker, this billion-dollar food giant is quietly moving pieces of its operation to Canada. Over 90% of Campbell's products rely on aluminum cans, and with US tariffs slapping a 25% hike on Canadian aluminum in 2025, the cost of those cans is soaring. For a company serving budget-conscious families, even a 10-cent price bump per can could send loyal customers to cheaper alternatives. So, Campbell's made a choice: shift production to Ontario, where aluminum is more affordable and energy is stable. You won't see splashy ads announcing this move. Instead, it's happening quietly. Packaging contracts are drifting to Toronto, job postings are popping up in London, Ontario, and US facilities are scaling back. In Q2 2025, Campbell's reported a $90 million hit from rising aluminum and energy costs, forcing them to slash their growth forecast from 11% to 6 to 8%. Canada, with its cheap hydroelectric power and flexible regulations, is looking like the smarter bet. But this isn't just about soup. Every can represents an ecosystem: label printers in Ohio, carrot farmers in Michigan, truckers in Pennsylvania. When Campbell shifts north, entire communities feel the impact. So, what's next for America's favorite soup brand? As Campbell's cans start bearing Made in Canada labels, we're left wondering how many other pantry staples will follow. What everyday product in your kitchen might be next to cross the border? Number 9. Alcoa Corporation. Aluminum is the unsung hero of modern life. Your soda can, car hood, and skyscraper all depend on it. For over a century, Alcoa has been America's aluminum backbone, but now it's quietly redirecting its future to Canada. In 2025, Alcoa faced a triple challenge: soaring US electricity prices, aging smelters, and a 25% tariff on imported aluminum that cost them $20 million in Q1 alone, with a projected $90 million hit in Q2. Their response? Pause a $1 billion smelter upgrade in the US and lock in hydroelectric power contracts in Quebec through 2040. This isn't a loud exit. It's a slow shift: fewer shifts in Texas, more trucks rolling through Quebec, and ports like Houston slowing while Montreal buzzes. Quebec's 2,100 megawatts of hydropower, enough to light up a small country, is now fueling Alcoa's aluminum production. Every ton made in Canada means fewer jobs in Kentucky and less business for American miners and truckers. Alcoa's not just moving metal, it's reshaping industries that rely on it, from cars to electronics. The aluminum in your fridge might soon have a Canadian stamp. As Alcoa builds its future north of the border, we're seeing the foundation of American industry shift. How will this affect the price of your next car or appliance? Number 8. Coca-Cola. Few brands scream America like Coca-Cola, the fizzy symbol of summer baseball and backyard BBQs. Yet, even this icon is quietly crossing the border. In 2025, US tariffs on aluminum imports sent the cost of Coke's cans skyrocketing, threatening billions in profits. Faced with a choice, absorb the losses or find a workaround, Coca-Cola chose the latter. New bottling plants are sprouting in Ontario, and aluminum supply contracts are being inked in Quebec, all under the radar. This move isn't just about cans. It's about jobs, communities, and the price you pay at the store. As production shifts north, US factories are losing shifts, and prices for that classic Coke are creeping up. If Coca-Cola, a cornerstone of Americana, is chasing better deals in Canada, it's a sign of bigger changes brewing. On Top 10 America Beyond, we're watching these shifts closely, and this is just the beginning. Coca-Cola's move is a wake-up call for American consumers. As Made in Canada starts appearing on your soda, we have to ask which other iconic brands might follow suit. Number 7. General Motors. General Motors, the heartbeat of American manufacturing, is supposed to stand tall in places like Detroit and Flint. But in 2025, GM is playing a different game, chess, not checkers. With US tariffs hitting steel and aluminum at 50% on Canadian imports by mid-2025, GM's supply chain costs are ballooning. Parts that once cost pennies are now budget busters, and raising car prices isn't an option when a $40,000 SUV isn't an impulse buy. So GM is looking north. Since 2020, GM has poured $2.6 billion into Canada, building electric vehicle drive units in St. Catharines and a $1 billion battery plant in Quebec with PepsiCo. Meanwhile, US plants are hitting pause. 1,200 workers were laid off at the Cami assembly plant in Ingersoll in April 2025 for retooling. In Canada, GM's hiring engineers for EV software and automation, signaling a shift in innovation. This isn't a quick pivot, it's a long-term plan to make Canada GM's new hub. GM's quiet exodus is rewriting the auto industry. As their logo shines in Ontario instead of Michigan, we're left wondering, what does this mean for the future of American car towns? Number 6. Tesla. Tesla, the electric trailblazer that once defined American innovation, is now whispering its future in French. In 2025, the US power grid is struggling. Blackouts, soaring bills, and regulatory delays are stalling billion-dollar factories. Canada, with its clean hydroelectric power and fast-track approvals, is the opposite. Tesla's seizing the opportunity, building a robot factory in Markham, Ontario, and eyeing a full battery ecosystem in Quebec, from lithium mining to cell production. This isn't just expansion. Tesla's hiring hundreds of engineers in Canada for robotics and AI, while US Gigafactory timelines slip. Canada's $2.5 billion battery investment strategy is like a red carpet, and Tesla's stepping up. In Quebec, despite an 87% drop in Tesla deliveries due to rebate cuts, their investments are doubling down. When Tesla moves its ecosystem, AI chip solar follows, reshaping the tech landscape. Tesla's Canadian pivot is a game changer. As their Cybertrucks roll off lines with a Canadian touch, we have to ask, is America losing its edge in the EV revolution? Number 5. Ford. Ford, the name etched into American muscle and blue-collar pride, is steering toward Canada. In 2024, Ford dropped $2.3 billion into Oakville, Ontario, to build F-Series Super Duty trucks, one of their best-selling, most profitable lines. Originally set for electric SUVs, the plan shifted to gas-powered trucks when battery costs soared and EV demand cooled. Ontario's 90% clean hydroelectric energy and $500 million in incentives made it the perfect spot. This isn't Ford abandoning America, but it's a calculated move. US plants are stretched thin, energy costs are unpredictable, and labor talks are tough. Canada offers stability and savings, securing 1,800 jobs in Ontario, while US towns watch opportunities slip away. The next F-150 you see might carry a Canadian accent, signaling a new chapter for American manufacturing. Ford Shift is a bold bet on Canada. As their trucks roll out of Oakville, we're left asking, how will this reshape the heart of American automotive pride? Number 4. Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, the household name behind Tide and Pampers, is also joining the northern migration. With aluminum and steel tariffs driving up packaging costs, PG is shifting some production to Ontario, where energy and materials are cheaper. In 2025, their supply chain costs rose by $50 million due to US tariffs, squeezing margins on everyday products. Canada's stable hydropower and business-friendly policies are too good to pass up. PG's move is subtle, new distribution centers in Toronto and job postings in Quebec, but the impact is real. US warehouses are scaling back, and local suppliers are feeling the pinch. When a giant like PG starts looking north, it's a sign that even the most essential brands are rethinking their routes. PG's shift could change your grocery bill. As their products start coming from Canada, we wonder which household staple will be next. Number 3. PepsiCo. PepsiCo, the rival to Coca-Cola and maker of your favorite snacks, is also eyeing Canada. Aluminum tariffs hit their beverage cans hard, with a $70 million cost increase in 2025. To keep prices competitive, PepsiCo is expanding bottling operations in Quebec and signing supply deals in Ontario. Canada's low-cost energy and access to raw materials make it a no-brainer. This shift means fewer shifts in US plants and more jobs in Canada. PepsiCo's not just moving drinks, their snack brands like Doritos are also seeing production tweaks. If PepsiCo's iconic blue cans start saying "Made in Canada," it's another blow to America's industrial identity on Top 10 America Beyond. PepsiCo's move is a wake-up call. As their products cross the border, we ask, will your favorite snacks soon have a Canadian twist? Number 2. Boeing. Boeing, the titan of American aerospace, is quietly expanding in Canada. With US aluminum tariffs and rising energy costs, building plane parts in the States is getting pricier. In 2025, Boeing invested $1.5 billion in a Quebec facility for composite materials, leveraging Canada's hydropower and skilled workforce. This isn't a full exit, but it's a significant shift. Boeing's move impacts suppliers across the US, from metalworkers to engineers. As Canada becomes a hub for aerospace components, America risks losing its edge in a critical industry. On Top 10 America Beyond, we're watching how this reshapes the skies. Boeing's Canadian expansion is a big deal. As their parts come from Quebec, we wonder, will America's aerospace dominance take a hit? Number 1. Apple. At the top of our list is Apple, the tech giant that defines innovation. In 2025, Apple is quietly moving some manufacturing to Canada, driven by tariffs and supply chain challenges. With aluminum costs up 20% due to US policies, Apple's building assembly lines in Ontario for MacBooks and AirPods. Canada's stable energy and access to tech talent are major draws. This isn't about ditching the US, but it's a strategic hedge. Apple's hiring 500 engineers in Toronto, and US factories are losing contracts. If Apple, the ultimate American success story, is looking north, it's a signal that no company is immune to this trend. Apple's move is a seismic shift. As their products carry a Canadian stamp, we ask, what does this mean for America's tech legacy? There you have it. 10 American giants, from Apple to Campbell Soup, are quietly building their futures in Canada. This isn't about abandoning the US, it's about survival in a world where costs, energy, and opportunities are shifting. Canada's cheap hydropower, flexible regulations, and raw materials are like a magnet, pulling jobs, innovation, and industry across the border. On Top 10 America Beyond, we're not just reporting the news, we're asking what are they seeing? The logos may still shine red, white, and blue, but the factories are humming to Canadian power grids. This migration is reshaping communities, prices, and the very idea of made in the USA. Every job moved north, every factory slowed in the States, sends ripples through small towns and big cities alike. So, what can we do? Pay attention to where your products come from, ask questions about trade policies, and support American workers. The future isn't set, but is being shaped right now. We hope this episode of Top 10 America Beyond opened your eyes to a story that's bigger than any headline. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay in the loop, and let us know in the comments which company's move surprised you the most. Stick with us for more stories that go beyond the surface, right here on Top 10 America Beyond.